Hello, it's Jerry at the Fledge. Welcome to another episode of Every Damn Day. And today on the show we have a great friend, Keyana. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing well. Hey, so you gave me some news I didn't think that I had heard before. Before we got on, you just got out of the hospital, huh?
Yep, about 2, 3 days ago, I just got out.
And you were in for COVID, huh?
Yeah.
So people talk a lot about the symptoms aren't that bad. Your symptoms to go to the hospital, were they pretty bad?
It's kind of like it sneaks up on you. You think you just have a pretty bad cold, and it gets worse as the time goes. And then once they tell you it's positive, you're like, oh, of course it was. And you look
Yeah.
at the signs, and you're like, oh yeah, that wasn't just a normal cold or a normal flu.
Yeah. Well, you're okay now, though, right?
Yeah, it's getting better with time. I'm not in the hospital anymore, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're glad you're okay because we need you.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know, not me, but the community has big plans for you. I think the world has big plans for you. So why don't we jump right in and talk about who is Kiana and what are all the projects that you're working on?
Okay, well, I'll start off by saying I'm 18. I started my first business when I was 16, my junior year of high school. I actually attended Hill Vocational Center where I did graphic tech, and that was my very first business. I didn't know at the time I was starting a business. I just knew I was making money. Um, and I was designing clothes and coffee mugs and different things like that. And then my senior year of high school, I was required to do a senior project where I had to figure out what career path I wanted, and I chose entrepreneurship. And here I am now planning for a future with entrepreneurship as a bed and breakfast owner slash hotel owner, and doing a few different things in the community to get my entrepreneurship name out there.
So in your description at the bottom with your name and your company name, it's a little cut off. Will you tell everybody your full company name?
Yes, my long term company name is KAP Hotel and Resorts. That's just for the amusement slash hotel portion of my career that I'm planning for. Obviously, the bed and breakfast will probably just be KAP Hotel, well, bed and breakfast or something smaller, but still about the same meaning.
Yeah. I love that you got these stages kind of figured out on what you want to do and how you're going to build your empire.
Yeah, it's always good
Um,
to plan ahead.
were you born and raised in Lansing?
Mm-hmm. In
All
Lansing,
right.
Michigan.
All right. Um, are you so what are some of the details of the projects? Like you're doing something for Christmas right now, right? I mean, a more micro project, I guess, compared to building a big hotel.
Yeah.
You want to tell everyone about that real quick?
Well, I'll say in November, me and a friend, we were like, we need to do something to give back. Um, I'm always talking about it in pitch competitions or something about giving back, and I just felt like it's important to show those actions instead of just saying I want to do it or I plan to do it. So we came together with a plan to do something small for families, and it actually grew to be something way bigger than what I expected. And we've adopted three different families where we're giving them some toys and some food and clothes for Christmas. We've gotten a Christmas tree for one of the families. Just something small to make their holidays a little bit better.
All right. Did you? Is there anything that you need for them?
Right now, I'll say all the food donations are welcomed. We got them a bunch of toys and clothes and personal care. So um, any food donations are welcomed and very appreciated.
Do you need turkeys?
Yes.
You do? I got you. 3 turkeys to you. We'll just make that decision right now. All right. I got them
Okay.
in the freezer.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
all right. But we'll talk offline on that.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you need, though? What else can, like, if somebody's watching right now, how can they help?
I got some hats and gloves from the pledge. And I was really hoping to be able to get them some coats. So if
Okay.
anyone has any resources of passing out some coats for the kids or even the moms, that would be really nice as well. But other than
Okay.
that, I think we've pretty much gotten the ballpark with toys and things. I mean, everything is still appreciated if it could be donated, but I'll say right now food and coats are probably the main thing.
Okay. And when are you going to start distributing?
We're planning to distribute on the 21st, but with things being kind of wonky, me not being able to leave the house for a while and things, I might have to delay it just a little further, but
Okay.
before Christmas for sure.
All right. So, and if they do have coats or they do have food that they want to donate to this cause, they can bring it to the Fledge, right? Do you have another
Yes.
drop off place?
No, we don't.
Okay.
Not for the food or anything like that.
Okay. So, we'll get this going. All right. I mean, we've had it going, but, yeah, I got a couple other things that I can put a call out for too. But anybody out there watching, if you have coats, you have hats, you have gloves, that's for Jerry, or not Jerry, but the Fledge, because you have hats and gloves and stuff, right?
Yep, we
Is
got
that true?
some hats and glove sets for the children.
Okay. So I got an idea on that, but we're spending too much time on that. Let's talk about you more. Um,
Okay.
I what's something you really want to tell us about you that maybe doesn't come up a lot, or why are you an entrepreneur, or why'd you pick that route? Well, tell us something we don't know about you.
I'll share why I picked being an entrepreneur.
All right.
I don't really share that story much with people. Um, well, I'll say I got my first job probably it was like a week before my 16th birthday. I got my first job and I've always been in a working family. Everyone around me has always worked. They've always made their own money. So it was like a you have to do something. I as a 5-year old I remember singing to my grandma's friends to get $5. So it was always like somehow I had to make my own money to be able to provide. And I got the job and I hated it. I came home, I cried. I told my mom, I'm like, I appreciate you and dad so much more. I don't know how you guys did it. And I came to the conclusion then I did not want to work for someone else. And I didn't know what being an entrepreneur was or what it meant. I didn't even know the word existed, like I said, until my 12th grade project. And that's when I researched. I did a job shadowing with some local entrepreneurs, and I was able to get the resources of what it meant to be a business owner, and that you can honestly own whatever company you want if you put the work into it. And I remember we were driving down the street, and I seen there were so many empty school buildings and things that are just abandoned, and it's like we could use those. And I'm like, that's what I want to do. I want to fill up those empty spots and not only make money for myself and my family, but to give back to the community. And that was just how I came up with I want to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Do you want to give a shout out to any of those early entrepreneurs that you were shadowing, or um,
Yes, actually, Release Fitness is one of the businesses that I did. It's a couple. They own it's called Release Fitness, and it's the power movement and things. They did a really good job with teaching me behind the scenes. They made sure that it wasn't so I thought it's peaches and creams. They let me know you get in, it's hard, it's going to be stressful, but if you want it, you have to keep working, and I appreciate them so much for that. So a big shout out to Release Fitness.
All right, nice. I think sometimes people think about owning their own business and being the boss, and that a lot of times they lead with that they want to be the boss, and you didn't really lead with that. You led with you want to own something that's yours. You want to create something that's yours.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that when you own a business, it's easier than having a boss, or do you think there's more bosses?
I'm a little iffy about that one because as an entrepreneur, you're still gonna have people. Okay, I need to book at 2 o'clock, so now I'm working for you to make sure that everything's ready for you at 2 o'clock. So it's like either way, I'm still working for others. It's just I have more ownership and more of a say so. If I don't like the way something's being ran within the company, it's easy for me to change that and make that difference than having to write a letter to corporate and let them know, hey, this isn't right.
Yeah. You're not iffy about that. You got that spot on. You're exactly right. Actually, everybody becomes your boss, right? Your
Yeah.
employees, your suppliers, your customers. You're constantly trying to work with them to get them to do stuff for you. And as the owner, everything you do is going to basically be through other people. So, you remember the first day we met?
Yeah, a little bit from the 99 problems.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell us about that day a little bit. And I don't mean to tote my other show. That's not why I want to tell the story. What I really want to tell is about you. But tell us about that day a little bit when you pitched at 99 Problems, but a pitch ain't one.
That was probably one of the um I was so nervous that day. It was weird because I was scrolling on the 517 community group, and Katie had posted in there. She's like, "Hey, come pitch." And it was my first virtual competition, and I'm like, man, I'm nervous. I was scared and everything, but she just kept pushing. She's like, no, just do it. Just come and do it. It's okay and everything. And I worked all morning on a pitch. Me and my mom and my dad, we sat in the living room, and I rewrote something 1,000 times, and I didn't even read off of the phone. It was so weird because I was able to be so comfortable with you guys, and I actually won that competition, and I was so shocked.
Yeah, you came in and killed it. You did a great pitch that morning. Um, I thought you woke up and came to the meeting and pitched it. I didn't know you were. I mean, it was so natural and so smooth. You did
Yeah.
such a great job. And we were all so impressed with you. I mean, we continue to be. You are a rock star. You are somebody to watch for sure.
Thank
Um,
you.
so, what would you say your oh, and shout out to your parents too for getting in there and helping you with that and encouraging that, because a
Hmm.
lot of times parents don't understand. I know that's a song, but um, they and they discourage entrepreneurialism, and they encourage, go get a job and work and do that later. And I think it's great that you're starting out of the box, being an entrepreneur and working towards solving the problems of the community. So shout out to your parents for encouraging that, because I think that's very, very important.
Yeah,
Um,
they're always so supportive of whatever I'm trying to do. My when I first started my business, and I was making the shirts and everything, my dad came to me and he's like, do you want me to pay for driver's ed, or do you want me to buy some supplies for your business? And I'm like, I'll take some supplies for my business. I wake up the next morning and he has a whole office set for me. So they're always supportive.
That's so awesome. How would you sum up your mission? Like, what do you think your mission is as a person or as an entrepreneur or whatever?
I honestly, I don't know how I would sum it up, because I feel like as life goes and as I grow, my mission changes. Right now I want to change poverty. I want to change boredom. I want to help the community grow, but tomorrow I might see something else that I want to change and I'm like, "Hey, let's fix that." So, I try to have a wide variety of what I want to fix, so I don't put myself in a box. I can change anything that I want to change, so I try to be open to what is my mission, because it could change all the time.
You should be the spokesman for entrepreneurialism, just the word. You should be the global spokesman for entrepreneurialism, because you are always so spot on with your answers. You continue to impress me, and part of it's your age, and I still see you as very young. I mean,
Yeah.
every one of my kids is older than you, but also you are just so, I told you before, um, you know, that you you always seem to have it together, and you seem, wise beyond your years. And what'd you tell
Mhm.
me when I told you that? Because I love that answer too.
All my siblings and cousins are 18 plus years older than me.
Yeah.
I'm the baby of the family, so I've always been around older people. I've always been able to watch from my sisters and my brothers' mistakes and things. So I've been able to learn um a little bit better, or a little quicker than others.
Yeah. And personally, I think you got an old soul. I think that your soul's been around the world a few times, and it really shows in how, I don't know, just how cool you are. You are always calm and collective. So,
Yeah.
so is there something you do every damn day that you push that evolving mission forward? And it's very good to have a fluid mission, I think, sometimes, especially as you want to expand and build and do all of that. What's something you do every day that pushes that forward?
Every day I make sure that I have a goal set for myself, whether it's something to do with my career, or cleaning my room. I make sure I have at least one goal set for myself so that I can have a reason to push through the day. Like today, I just got out of the hospital, and I'm like, I haven't been doing anything. I need to prepare for this interview. So my goal for the day was to make sure I cleaned my space up, and I washed my face and everything, and became that that person I was before I got COVID. And now I feel better, and now I'm going to go into tomorrow with an even bigger goal, because I accomplished something, even that small today. So I just always try to make sure that I have a goal for myself, a small
Yeah.
goal that leads up to an even bigger goal.
That's I it you hang around me enough, you've probably heard me say that rivers are made with drops of water, and those little goals are your drops of water that go into the making of that river. um
Yeah.
i I just think you're amazing, Keyana. I really do. um so yesterday on the show, my entrepreneur didn't show up, so I did the show by myself. And So I'm the one that generated the question, and you might have already answered it, but we'll go there anyway. Um, what's the first thing you remember? The first entrepreneurial thing you did where you got paid for it? And I'm thinking when you talked about singing.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the first things that I was doing. Like I said, I was always everyone's 13 and up, and I'm 3-year old, and they're like, "Oh, I want to see what can you do." So I remember grabbing the microphone and singing karaoke for my grandma's friends, and they're like, "Oh, I'll give you $5 if you do that song again." So I just anything really. Um I I actually attended a performing arts school, so I was forced to learn how to draw and sing and act and things. So I just remember using those resources and making money off of it.
Do you think you used your acting skills when you were pitching?
um, I'm not sure. I think it's code switching. I definitely you have to use that at times. So that might be a little bit of my acting skills.
Yeah. Will you tell everyone what code switching is? Or I will if you want to, but
um,
I'd love to hear that definition because everyone might not know what that is, and it's an important term, especially in today's world.
well, code switching to me is just adapting to my surroundings. I you might take things a different way or something, so I have to switch how I would tell you versus how I would tell my mom. So code switching to me is just adapting to my resources and who I'm around so that I get my point across no matter who I'm speaking to.
And that's to me the way you describe it and explained it right there is the important part. I think you got to kind of meet people where they are, and
Yeah.
so it's, I mean, I guess at a high level, if I'm speaking English but I'm trying to communicate with a Spanish speaker, I got to switch to Spanish if I'm going to communicate. Or
Mhm.
I mean, that's not really even a good example, but um yeah.
No, that is a really good example because you have to meet people halfway so that they understand you. One of my teachers, my old teacher, she had this saying, "Keep it simple, stupid," and that I relate to that when I do the code switching. Who am I speaking with? Do I need to try to be a little more intelligent when I speak to them so that they understand what I'm trying to explain, or do I need to try to dumb it down a little bit so that they get it without complicating the conversation too much or something? Just
So you
adapting to who we're speaking with.
So when you showed up for 99 Problems that first time, you just came in and I'm going to show them how smooth I am, how intelligent I am. And you knocked this off the block, man. You did a great
Yeah,
job.
I had to work really hard because I didn't know what I was going into, and after I watched some of the old videos, I'm like, wow, these people are gonna kick my butt.
You came in and rocked it. It was great. So tomorrow on the show, we've got a couple, Brian and Lindsay, and they're starting the Wild Dawn farm. And what question would you like for me to pass on to them?
um, you their farm is organic, right? You did
Yep,
mention that.
yep, yeah.
Um, I would just like to know more about the benefits that organic products give to us. I hear a lot about organic things at the supermarket and things, but what's the difference? I feel like a lot of times it's just like, hey, it's healthier for you, and they expect us to use it. But what does it do? You know?
Okay. I'll definitely ask them that. So now I got to try to flip this question on you as far as try to ask you a similar question. What's something that you do that maybe people don't understand, or there's a stigma behind it. Like I know that you have a passion for homelessness and eliminating homelessness. If I'm some rich guy living in Okemos, why should I care about that?
I think that if you're some rich guy living in Oakland, you should care about it because um that could be you one day. You know, just because we all have you know, what do they say? We're living in glory today. Everything can change tomorrow. So I try to put in people's heads that we have to work for our community and the people around us. Things can change really quick. Like no one expected for COVID to happen, and now there's people without jobs and people that need help. But just yesterday, you were living on top of the world. So try to always think about the position you can be in and how can you fix it so that when you're in that position, how would you want me to help you?
Yeah, I love it. I love that you were just answering that on the fly, and you are constantly impressing me. I know that I'm probably falling all over you right now with compliments, and I'm sorry, but it to me demonstrates. Did you ever do the youth entrepreneurial showcase? Had you pitched before, or where did you pitch
I
before?
signed up for the last one, the last right before
Oh,
everything was
yeah.
shut down, so I wasn't able to do it, which sucks, but that was actually that would have been my second pitch competition. I did one at the Lansing Mall before, and I was totally unprepared. Hence to why I was so nervous about 99 Problems. That was my first ever pitch competition, and I had I didn't even pitch the hotel. Actually, I pitched my customization business.
Hmm. So who had a pitch competition at the Lansing Mall? I never heard of
Um,
this.
I I can't remember the name, but all I can remember from that pitch competition is that Styles by Miles competed. Um, every time I see him, I always mention that to him, and he's like, "You remember that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I remember him pitching, and he put so much fear into me at that competition because
Yeah.
he came out with his briefcase and he meant business, and I'm like, oh God, I did not expect this. So that was one of the probably the most memorable moments for me for my first competition to see that.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned him because I just saw a story on Facebook, and he is dressed sharp as shit today. I mean, he
Yeah.
looks sharp.
I remember the competition came out and he had a briefcase full of his stuff and he was just so confident, and I'm like, "Oh man, I can't do this." And he killed it. I don't remember the results of that competition or anything, but I just remember that I was definitely inspired by him. That was a dope moment.
That's awesome. I can't wait to tell him we talked about him today. So, before we start wrapping up, just Sean Watson Davis, she says just wisdom. That's the word that she's using for you. And then, do you know Katie Carlson? She's
Yes,
just
I
saying,
do.
great job, Keyana. So, um, you got some fans out there, the Fledge and the Fledglings, that we all love you so much. We love seeing your face. I was so happy that you're on the show today. When you signed up, I was so happy. And we're very, very happy that you're recovering pretty strong for COVID, and all of that. And thank you for talking about that with us,
No
as well.
problem.
So I'm gonna get ready to say see you later or sign see you later to everybody. But before I do that, what would you like to tell us that you haven't told us yet? I want to remind everybody, if you've got donations for food or coats, then drop them off at the Fledge and tell us that they're for Keyana, and we'll put them in a safe place for her. But what's something else that you might want to tell people?
I guess I would like to end it off by telling people to just be strong during this time and always stay positive. Right now we all need hugs and all the love that we can receive virtually. So if anyone needs to talk or get something off their mind, please feel free to message me or my business page. I have a lot of free time right now, so just be positive during this time and push through it. We're all going to get through this together.
And I want to just add one little thing to that. You know, don't confuse age and people who are young with people that might not be experienced, might not have knowledge, might not have wisdom. Because I think that, our talk today, the 99 problems that you've participated in, the times that we're interacting, you keep me going, you keep me motivated, and you're really special, and you're really special to me. And I want to make sure that I say that to you face to face, I guess, as we can get. So
thank you.
So there's another episode of Every Damn Day, a young entrepreneur coming out here and just really understanding what entrepreneurial is and how she can make the community stronger, make the community better by attacking those poverty problems, attacking the problems that we see every day, getting rid of the causes and coming up with unique solutions that we can sustain as a community. And you are a rock star, Keyana, for sure. And, I'm going to be 90 years old walking around with a walker and say, I used to know her. So, or maybe I hope we still know each other, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, we'll still know each other.
Yeah, we will. So everyone, I'm signing. See you. Later. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great day, Keyana. I'll talk to you soon. All right.